Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about the debate that happened last night between Joe Biden and Donald J. Trump. And if you're new here, well, sit down, buckle up. There's crash helmets over there. There's life preservers over there. There may be a parachute laying around. I'm not sure which of these items we're going to need today, but we might need one or two of them. But I am here to tell you it's all going to be okay. I'm not going to be freaking you guys out and telling you that the worst thing in the world just happened. I'm going to tell you where we go from here because that's past tense. What happened last night is past tense, and it was a great big lesson for all of us. I watched the entire thing from beginning to end, and I think there is some importance to that because you really can't get a sense for what happened based on other people's talking about it. You just can't. Okay. So it happened. And I can tell you after I tell you what's going to happen, why I think it happened, but I don't know how important that is because hindsight is always 2020. So let's just get right to the future, shall we? Let's get to the future. Okay. If you don't know, Biden was caught off guard yesterday. He was not feeling well. He had a cold. His microphone was not set up correctly. You can see that because he stopped at a IHOP or Waffles House right after the debate, and his voice was strong. He was strong. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories about why all that happened, but it happened, and here we are. It's all part of this lesson, right? And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what we're going to do next. So I made a list. Because sometimes when I'm channeling, it's kind of like all over the place. And I just really want to tell you guys, boom, boom, boom. Here's what the spirit guides are saying. Okay, first of all, on the list, I have a TikTok young voter strike team. If you guys think that people that listen or watch TikTok watched this debate last night, people are saying that. People are saying people that watch TikTok didn't stay in front. They don't watch debates. Did you watch debates when you were 20, when you were 25? No, you didn't even know there was a debate happening. So that doesn't matter. Young people did not see this debate. That's BS if anybody says it. What happens now is that each team, the Trump team, the Biden team, will assemble their own response and they'll package up their person's, highlight reel, if you will, and they'll put that out where they feel like they need to do it. I don't think Trump is smart enough or his team is smart enough to target young voters. They don't have any money, so he's not interested in them. So I don't think he's going to target them. I think that crowd is all for Biden to go out and gather up. So I see Biden, and he already has this. This guy is smart. He already brought in to the White House an actual social media full of young people, social media strike team. They literally take whatever his press office sends out to the traditional media. They take that, recapsulate it in a way that young people can understand it. And young people want to get the information, the things that matter to them. And those surrogates, that PR part of the White House goes out into social media. So you're going to see a very specific and very stylized, it's new. Almost everything that I'm going to be talking about is things that they're going to create by Wednesday. Today is Friday. Okay. If not by today, a lot of this stuff you will actually see in effect by this afternoon. Because if you want to win, you've got to be nimble. You've got to come back from a defeat. And this was a defeat. Okay. I'm just not going to lie. It was a defeat. It was hard to watch. So number one, TikTok strike team. I think that's brilliant. Number two, a mainstream media strike team. You will see probably this weekend, if not before, but this isn't just this. Let me also state, this isn't a 1 week thing. This is a every single day, every week, every month We've got 4 or 5 months before the election. Are you kidding me? Anything can happen. This is not the end of the story. But what it is a really good lesson for the Biden team to say, oh, crap, right? Like that was a swing and a miss. We're going to have to do something different. Let's get our heads together. And I really think there were two camps in the Biden kind of prep team. And the team that he went with was the wrong team. They over prepped him. They prepped him to try to remember all these numbers, and it didn't matter because Trump was out there spinning his arms like a windmills, just throwing crap up in the air, right? And once Biden gave up trying to even debate him and just take him on, the debate really picked up energy. Halfway through, Biden was like, you're a liar. You're a whiner. You're a convicted felon. You're a rapist. You're an alley cat. That was the one that cracked me up. But, Biden started fighting back. He gave up the prep. He's like, this is the wrong playbook for this situation. He threw it out. And that's when you saw Biden's fire come out. And I honestly thought Biden was going to come to fisticuffs. A few times I thought, they had a little break. I watched it on C-SPAN. They had a little break and the cameras panned out. And I was like, watching, because I'm like, Biden's going to be like doing one of those things where you dive through the air. Like he made Biden so mad about what he said about the military and what he said about America. Biden was steaming. So mainstream media strike team. What does that mean? Well, it means we've got some amazing surrogates. We've got VP Harris. We've got Gavin Newsom. We've got Mary Trump. We've got Gretchen, is her name Whitmire? I don't know. This is what the guides are telling me. I'm not in control here. Anyway, I'm not even going to say. I think they have a nickname. Do they call her Big Gretch or something? Anyway, they have a nickname for her. Anyway, there's some really amazing Democrats out there that are very articulate, very savvy, can link up with middle America and tell it like it is. That is going to be his surrogates. They're going to be out. They're going to not only ask to be on shows, they're going to demand to be on shows. And I think because the media smells blood in the water, they're going to say, sure, come on. You want to talk about that debate? I love to talk about that debate. We're all going to talk about that debate because it's going to get clicks. Well, that's where they're going to be wrong, because you're going to see really impassioned talking points. You're going to see fact checking where they say Trump said this. I mean, come on, let's be serious, to the commentator. Let's be serious. All this guy said was he was the best president ever. He said it, checks notes 27 times. That's what he's running on. That's his platform. That, my friends, is what's about to happen. They're going to the surrogates via the young people, via TikTok, via other, X and other platforms, but also these, other Democratic surrogates are going to be out on the mainstream media. They're going to murder. There's going to be a murder, like they say in social media, right? Call a coroner. There's going to be a murder. That's what they say when they mean we're going to take you out. You're not going to be viable after this, right? And they don't mean physically. They mean reputationally, or they mean in some other way. Okay, now, here's another thing the guides told me that I thought was, frankly, the spirit guides have been talking about doctors walking out and striking. And I clipped a picture of this. I'll try to put it on the screen. Last week, doctors walked out of a hospital. Look, you guys, if you're doctors or nurses, you've got a Hippocratic, and I think it's the Nightingale oath that you took that says do no harm. Well, you're square in the face of doing harm if you can't help your patients. And I feel like the next sort of bullet point on Biden's team to sort of, they always have a PR damage control unit, right? This is going to be the next bullet point, which is reach out to doctors and nurses, and maybe reach out to the AMA, which is the American Medical Association, which Google them. They're pretty conservative. But I think you might see the Biden administration or Biden surrogates really leaning on these agencies and saying, you got to take a stand. One of the things that Trump said over and over again was that Democrats, and specifically he picked on the Virginia Democrat, the Virginia governor, is babies at 9 months and even after they're born. I mean, that's just like patently false. And it frankly, that right there should get him a trip to the, neurologist or the psychiatrist's office. You know what I mean? That in and of itself should make him investigated for his mental clarity. It's not true. It's a crazy lie. And people, like, when you get that far out there as far as lies go, the AMA, Nursing Profession Association, universities, people just need to get together and say, this is wrong. We are not picking a president. Maybe we're not getting behind anybody, but we're going to fact check this and it's wrong. Okay. So I feel like Biden is going to be reaching out to groups of doctors, groups of nurses, researchers, everybody, to get them to come on camera and say, this never happened. It's never going to happen. It's a lie. Okay. The next thing is more outreach to Border Patrol for public awareness. One of the things last night was Biden said Border Patrol has endorsed him. And Trump said that was a lie. And Biden, I'm telling you, Biden would look at him like, I mean, as a medium, I would say Biden looked at him like he saw a ghost. Like, what? Like shock. A part of Biden's problem was he was continuously shocked into silence. Like, I don't even know how to answer this, right? Like, Biden has been forged in the fires of statesmanship, right? Public office, where your reputation speaks thousands of words and you give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And, it's really like being a professional ambassador, right? So if you're a professional ambassador, it's just not in your physical makeup to respond to such complete jibber jabber. And that's where Biden was caught off guard. Like, this is just like a lie. Like, how can you stand on the debate stage and lie? Like, Biden probably should have prepped with someone who just lied nonstop. That would have been a better debate prep for Biden. Instead, what he did was stuff numbers and, all this nonsense into his head. Like, you have to remember every number. And if you get one number wrong, like Biden was correcting himself too much. Like, if he was to say 44 billion, oh, wait, it's 44 trillion. It made him look like he didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't even need to talk numbers because Trump doesn't even understand past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, it was wrong. The wrong debate prep. End of story. So I see Biden going back out to the Border Patrol and doing ads with the Border Patrol, literally walking the border with Border Patrol officers carrying arms. Biden has got to get in front of this narrative. And with all the money he's collecting from everybody supporting him, now he could put that money to use in ads everywhere. He needs to flood the whole media with ads of him with the very things that Trump brought up. Basically, what you do is everything that Trump brought up, you realize that's a hot button, and you need to make 1,000 ads about that particular hot button. You need to really push that button. And that's one of the buttons. Now, one of the things that I don't think it's on here, but one of the things that Biden didn't do, which there's a few things he just didn't respond to. And I think it's because he was shocked. I honestly, it's like he got brain freeze. Like, he was just like, what is this, man? Is this really happening? Like, so one of the things he didn't respond to was Trump kept saying that Nancy Pelosi took full responsibility for Jan 6. And she did it like on video or something, right? Like, so these are the things that Biden's team is now going to come back out and one at a time, not a whole hour-long thing. a 5-minute, a 30-second clip. Nancy Pelosi said this? Did you say this, Nancy? No, I never said this. Let's roll the clip of Trump saying it. There's your ad. Do that. Do that. Repeating. Okay. Next thing is more usage of surrogates like Buttigieg, VP Harris, Gavin Newsom. We already talked about that. But this, you're going to see them out all the time. The bottom line is that the Dems are closing ranks around Biden. They're literally closing ranks around him. And that's the decision. And that's what we're going to do. That we got our marching orders. This is what we're going to do. Okay. Here's another thing. More public appearances by Biden on things like Colbert Report or any of the late night talk shows. Also appearances on The View or just any media show whatsoever. I mean, really, Biden again has to flood the market with him talking like a statesman, like him talking, like our president. He's got to rewrite. It's almost like you're going to erase what happened at the debate and replace it with all of these things. And this is what Biden's team is doing right now. I'm in their energy. They are not crying in their Wheaties this morning. They didn't even go to sleep last night because, they're going to have a meeting this afternoon with Biden and they're going to have a new plan because they know what didn't work. And now they're going to pivot. That's what successful presidents do. That's what successful leaders do. Also, remember, Obama gave a bad speech once upon a time. Reagan gave a bad speech once upon a time. Sometimes you just swing and miss. It just happens, okay? We are so far out from the election. This is not even going to be, we're not even going to remember this in a month because a lot's going to have happened, like perhaps Trump being in jail. So let's move on. We did talk about the PR damage control team to manage all this. Look up any of your favorite celebrities. Justin Timberlake just got arrested. Don't you think he's got a PR team that's going to spin this, that's going to help him manage the bad PR? That's what's going to happen. This is just what happens when you're in the public eye. Sometimes you make a mistake. You've got to have a plan to make it to your best benefit. That's what's going to happen here. This was an interesting thing the guides told me about, which is some kind of fact checker app. There could be a new app for your phone, which I mean, I don't know. This is just what I don't know how this is going to manifest. It could also be a fact checker series of ads that are called fact checker. It could be even like animated. Again, this is going to catch the eyeballs of anybody under 40 that watch Marvel, that watch anime, that play video games. Okay. This is brilliant. Really, this is honestly brilliant. And it's going to be so quick. It's going to be 30 seconds. And what's beautiful about short videos on YouTube or on TikTok is they're so fast. You want to watch them again because you're like, wait, what happened? So you watch it like 5 times and you're like, wow. Right. Well, guess what? When you watch an ad 5 times, TikTok, Google, Instagram, Facebook, doesn't matter. They're like, winner, chicken dinner. We're going to now promote that ad. We're going to promote that ad to everybody. And that's how it goes viral. So this is brilliant, right? It's truly brilliant. I don't know how long this is going to take for them to roll out. I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's going to be some kind of fact checking thing. And it may be, they may run different versions of it, right? I'm kind of seeing they may do 3 different versions. So you might see a version, say on Facebook, that's completely different, that is not animated, that is made for people who are on Facebook. Could be an older person. It could be Gavin Newsom. Then you're going to see something different on TikTok. They understand the audiences have completely different, ideas about what they're interested in. and they're going to market that particular message to that particular group. It's going to be brilliant. And I think that, and I'm going to talk at the end of this video about some other things, but I think that this is going to be, look, I had no idea I was going to say any of this 15 minutes ago. Had no idea. This is going to be marketing genius is what the guides are saying. It's going to be nimble. It's going to be fast. It's going to be very effective. Okay. So I feel better already. All right. So a few more things, right? They're talking about Biden raked in a ton of money last night. He really did. And who has the money? The older folks have more money, and the older folks watched him struggle. They perhaps felt bad for him, or they perhaps got terrified that democracy was literally slipping through the fingers right there on the stage. And they said, we've got to help Biden. We cannot let Biden lose. So Biden is raking in money. Okay. That's really going to help him do all the things we talked about in the list so far. We did talk about the Dems are closing ranks around him to shield him. That is the decision. That is what's happening. It's everybody's on board. Everybody's on board. There will be no division. It will not be tolerated. You're either with us or against us. He's our man. End of story. I'm just telling you the energy. I'll talk a little bit later about some other things. Okay. That's the energy right now. Is we're all in it to win it, and we're riding with Biden. Okay. The next thing, and there's only like 3 more things. The next thing is the economy and jobs will be the deciding factor. Okay. It's not the debate that's going to decide. It's this, the word is amelioration. The word is pacifying, right? Okay. Yeah. One of the questions last night was, what used to cost you $100 now costs you $120. Biden is not, saying that's not true. He's saying it is true. And he's saying, I'm doing things to work towards fixing that. We've talked about on this channel how this is greedflation. It's not inflation, it's greedflation. And we talked about the pressure on these corporations to lower prices, and now they are lowering prices. So as we get into the summer, especially we get into August, which is still months before, 2 months away from now, and still months before the election, you guys, you're going to see Biden's policies start to bloom. You're really going to feel those jobs. You're going to feel that those tuition fees being credited. That's going to be money back into the economy. You're going to feel the prices coming down. You're going to, one of the things Biden said that I didn't even know he did. I got a Pell Grant when I went to college, right? And he said he's now making the Pell Grant even higher. So you can even qualify for a higher Pell Grant from the government. These are things people need to know. I didn't know that. You're going to see his strike team literally go through this debate with a fine-tooth comb, and they're going to pull out all the gems, and they're going to test them against focus groups and figure out where Biden's message is not getting out and where the particular message has the most oomph, the most bang for the buck. And you're going to see those strike team ads placed directly to those consumers, to those voters. The economy and the jobs is what's going to win this election. It's Biden's policies. It's the Democratic policies. It's what's going to move the needle, folks. We just need more time for it to happen. And luckily, we have time. Got a lot of time until November. A lot of time. And this is all happening. It doesn't need to be voted on. It's already happening. And those jobs, that pacifying, that amelioration, that calming effect, the prices coming down, the Pell Grants, the way he's working with tax reductions for houses, for people trying to buy houses, the things he's doing for certain communities, like the Black communities, trying to really angle some help towards them where they've been in the history in the past. They've been redlined. They've been kept out of communities. They've been kept out of mortgages. Biden understands that. He's literally trying to angle some help directly towards them, those communities. Same thing with the Native American community. Same thing with the Hispanic community. He understands these communities have gotten a raw deal, and he wants to help them. And he's going to get that message out, and it's going to start landing with these communities. The last thing is Trump is on this is exactly word for word what they told me. Trump is on a pugilistic high from the debate. Pugilistic means boxing. He's on a pugilistic high from the debate, and now will go hog wild and defame, attack, slander people, including anybody, the politicians, judges, prosecutors. This is one thing they said that would happen during the debate. He didn't need to go that far. Trump got stuck on like a wheel of the border and Ukraine and Russia. And he did, the guides did say that he would leak some secret information. One of the very first things in the first 5 minutes Trump said was, "I had a secret meeting." and this is what we talked about. He literally said that. It's like, so you can understand why Biden, and I said that in the video that I did before the debate, that Biden would just be standing there. I said it actually. I didn't know that I'd said it. They just told me that I said Biden would be standing there with his mouth open, with his eyes wide. And that's exactly what he kept doing. And David with Taroba the Bay said it looked like he was a guppy. And it did. It looked like he was a guppy. His mouth was open like, but Biden was so shocked by the things that Trump was saying. He was literally gobsmacked. So he didn't even have an opportunity to respond because he never saw it coming, right? So Trump is going to be on a pugilistic high from the debate. He's going to go hog wild. And this is what sets him up nicely for the energy that I see around July 11th, where he goes before Judge Merchan and he just takes it too far. He feels like he's King Kong when you go into Trump's energy. He feels like he's King Kong hanging off of a building with a woman in his fist, and throwing cars. You know what I mean? That, no disrespect to King Kong or King Kong fans, but this is the energy they showed me. That's what Trump feels like. He feels like he's King Kong. He's got the woman. He's a big, beast, and he's tearing apart New York or whatever, right? That's not going to play well for him because he's going to go too far. Everybody saw what he was and what he did during this debate. Look, as much as I can tell you that Biden didn't do very well, Trump didn't do very well either. He did horrible, terrible, horrible. He was a shite show his own self, right? So I'm not saying Trump did any better. He didn't. Our lesson here, the last thing on this list is, our lesson here is to stand up to the bully. How long have the spirit guides been talking to you guys about this bully energy? Putin is a bully. Netanyahu is a bully. Erdogan is a bully. Trump is a bully. DeSantis is a bully. Jim Jordan is a bully. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a bully. They're all bullies. We see it now. We really saw it on the big screen, that if you allow these type of people to have power, they'll turn into that autocrat. They'll turn into that authoritarian, that dictator. They'll take all the power. And we see it. So now I think Biden deserves a rest, and I think he deserves a really long time out. And what will happen is that they will pivot. I really see this guarded group of people. It's almost like when you have like the Roman soldiers that would get all the way around and shields out, right? In the inside is your leader, is the thing you need to protect. That's what I see his team doing. That's really what I see the Democrats doing. Even I think all Democrats, I'm looking at the Democrats now, and I don't see anybody. I think you might see some wavering, some people wavering in the next couple of days saying, I don't know, maybe Biden should step down. I'm talking about Democrats, elected Democrats. I'm not talking about pundits, I'm talking about elected Democrats. But I think 99% of the Democrats, elected Democrats, are going to get behind Biden. Now, very briefly, I want to just talk about one more thing. I want to talk about the fact that I have always seen from the beginning, before Biden got elected in 2020, when I didn't know who Kamala Harris was because I'm not a Californian, didn't keep track of that political scene. When I saw him announce her as his VP, my spirit guides told me she would be president. Now, there's only a few times they use this tone of voice for me, and it's not when I'm eating donuts. It's when they're really, really serious. It's a very deep, it's just has a different energy to it. They said she will be president. They said she will be the law and order president. They said she may not be popular, but she will be fair. That's what they said. They keep repeating those same things to me all the time. Now, I don't think she's going to be popular because when she's needed, when it is her sole contract to step into the presidency, it's because we have civil unrest. And look, I've been saying this for a long time. Everybody's going to have to get in the streets because, well, we're not being represented, right? We're going into Aquarius, power to the people, and our states keep voting against their own citizens. The Supreme Court votes against their own citizens. So there's only so much of this you can take, and you're going to get in the streets. And so I feel like, yes, Kamala Harris is going to be president. I would give it 98% chance that she's going to be president. I don't think she's voted in. I think she steps in. I think Biden steps down and she steps in. This is what I've seen. I've seen it for 4 years. Now, I was hoping that this would happen after the election, but I've never said that it would happen after the election. I have not said one way or the other. I know you guys watch a lot of psychics, and sometimes you think we all say, like, you attribute things I said to other people or vice versa. I've never said with 100% certainty that Biden is going to get through this election. I want him to get through this election. I believe he will win the election if he stays in the race. If he stays in the race, I believe he will win the election. That's different than will he stay in the race. You have to be very specific about the questions you ask. At this point, I feel like the Dems have made a decision. They've made the decision. This is our man, and we're literally going to carry him. If we have to carry him, we're going to carry him. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. To be completely honest with you, I really feel like one of the ways that if the Democrats had the cojones, and we talked about this before the debate, that the Democrats needed to find their ovaries and find their cojones. Didn't we talk about that? And here they are finding them. Where did I put those suckers, right? Well, I don't think there's any problem or any shame in carrying your leader. His mind is brilliant. He is a statesman. He is respected. Could he have some body issues, some physical issues? Yes. Did we have a president in a wheelchair? Yes. I'm not saying he's going to be in a wheelchair. I'm just saying to you that if you can expand your awareness and your consciousness to include that this guy might be a little bit more frail than we want him to be in some ways. But if we decide he's our man, he's going to be our man. And then the PR team makes that a strength. If the Democrats have the courage, they can go back and say, he's our Gramps. Yeah, he's Gramps. This is Gramps. This is Grandpa Biden. But you know what they can do? They can create a narrative around listening to the elders. They can go back into all the cultures that venerate, that really pay attention to and respect their elders. You can see ads where they go and talk to whatever culture, be it Asian culture, Native American culture, even, frankly, every culture but white people. Let's face it, every culture but white people really respects their elders. Well, then you can run ads saying, yeah, he's an elder statesman. He really is. And you know why that's good? Because he's been through more than somebody like a younger person. You turn the problem into an asset. You own the problem. You just outright claim it. Yeah, that's Gramps. Gramps is awesome. Be like Gramps. 2024. Gramps rule. Have you guys seen those t-shirts, Old Guys Rule? They always sell them down in like the coastal shops with a surfboard and sunglasses. Old Guys Rule. Claim it. Stop running from the obvious. Turn around, face it, own it, and make it a badass thing that you have and they don't. Oh yeah. Well, I happen to remember when this thing got attacked. This person got attacked. I actually spoke to this leader. I am Google. There's so many ways they could, I am AI. Young kids, they have to ask AI, but we just ask Biden because he's been around long enough that he knows all the answers. Do you see how they can turn that to a positive? But they've got to stop running from it. There's no way you can package this man up like Buttigieg. He's not Buttigieg. He's not Gavin Newsom. And Buttigieg and Gavin Newsom are great people and very brilliant people, but they don't have the strength. They don't have the wisdom. They don't have the time in the saddle that Biden has. So if we're gonna package him up and we're gonna put him on our shoulders and carry him into 2024 and beyond, this is what needs to happen. Otherwise, if the Democratic Party, or I don't even want to say Democratic Party, if the Biden's team does all that they can do, and maybe they don't follow the advice of repackaging the problem and making it an asset, because that would be the winning, that would be the final stroke of like, we've won. Let's say they do what they do and Biden's numbers are flat or falling in June or July. Wait, are we in June? July or August even. When I go into Biden's energy, he is 100% robust. His energy in his solar plexus is a 30-year-old. He's a 30-year-old, okay? He's robust. And he doesn't want to give up. But he also doesn't want to let the American people down. He understands what's at stake here. And so at some point, before it's too late, Biden might make the call himself. I'm just telling you. I'm not telling you it's going to happen. I'm just reading the energy. The only person who can make this call is Biden. And Biden loves this country more than he loves himself or power or ego or anything else. And if he feels like he's dragging down, the candidacy, he'll step aside. I trust him. Now, right now, when I go into his energy, no. I mean, I think he has some doubts, but he's not ready to step down. He knows he can pivot. You're not a leader for over 50 years without having had some falls, without having had some losses, without having learned how to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go forward. I think they use that exact same analogy in the before the debate video that the Democrats have picked themselves off. I just remember doing this. Anyway, Biden knows he can pivot. He knows that he's the right man for the job. He knows he has a good team. He knows his team still has gas left in their tank. They still have winning ideas and strategies. He knows they can move the needle for the American people. He just has to find the right path forward. Now, if his body gives out in August or, even September, Biden might step down. I cannot rule that out. I cannot rule out a situation. I said this actually 2 days ago to a good friend. I said, I'm starting to see a potential where don't freak out, you guys. If y'all freak out on me, I'm going to stop allowing comments because some of y'all's comments are crazy. These are all probabilities. The only thing I can promise you is the sun's going to come up, the sun's going to go down. Other than that, I can't promise you anything. But I can see a situation where we have a brand new candidate for Democratic president and a brand new candidate for the Republican president. That is a probability. It is a possibility. I cannot deny that energy exists because it does. Right now, it might be about 40%, but it's there. Like that has entered the chat room. That has entered the stage. We have to acknowledge it. I still think the Democrats are going to win. I will tell you guys, the longer Trump stays in power, in this power position as King Kong, the better for the Democrats. Because if they get rid of him at the convention, which the guides have suggested that they might do, I did a whole video where it said coup at the convention, at the Republican convention. You guys, the money, the powers that are going, their money is more important than any presidency. Presidents come and go. Their money is generational. They're not going to lose their money over some jackass. So if they throw him over in the Republican convention and they put in Nikki Haley, and then we have Kamala Harris. Wow, right? I know, pick your brain up off the floor, put it back in your head. It's okay. It's okay. Everything is going to be okay. However, that is a different race, my friends. That's a different race. I still think Kamala Harris is going to win because they told me she was going to be president. But I can't guarantee anything except for the sun going up and sun going down. So what do we need to do? Well, first of all, we need to not freak out, because if you're freaking out, you're not helping anything. It's like when there's a crisis, if you're screaming and running around that there's a crisis, that's not helpful. I would suggest get a paper bag, put it on your face, blow into it until you get your breath back. I would suggest taking some time out. I really would, because you watching CNN or MSNBC or me or anything 24/7 is not going to make you feel better. Then don't do it. Do not do it. You don't need to know. You just need to keep your head above water. I want your vibration to stay as steady as possible, because all of our vibrations add to the cumulative vibration of the planet. And if we're all freaking out, well, it affects things. Frankly, it really does affect things. So keep a level head, keep your chin above the water, get out of the water, lay on the beach and do some sunbathing, or, get out of the water and go into nature. Start a new hobby, do something to distract yourself. If you want to help, you can also donate. You can text bank. It's very simple to text bank. Contact your local Democratic group, contact the DNC, contact somebody and say, I want to help. You basically just use your phone to text people. We know we all get the text. However, as we get closer to the election, you get more personal. Hey, this is Susan. I'm texting you from Texas. Can you believe that? I'm voting for Biden, even in Texas. I hope you vote for Biden too in Indiana. That kind of thing moves the needle. It really does. Handwriting postcards and mailing them out moves the needle. Voting in your local elections so that they don't, STEAL, the VOTE can help, right? I've talked a lot about things you can do on this channel. I really have. I've really given you guys some great ideas, or I say I, but you know who's talking through me right now. There's no need to panic. Pray for Biden. Send good vibes, good energy to his team, to him, to Jill, to everybody. We're not through this. Please don't hear me say that we're going to sail through this. Not going to happen. The guides gave me the image of you're at the top of the roller coaster. Tick, 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 tick. That terrifying sound they play. The summer is going to be us rolling through the roller coaster, going upside down. Things we never thought would happen are going to happen. And the worst thing about it is there's no end to the roller coaster. So whenever you're on a roller coaster, you're like, well, 3 minutes. I just got to endure this for a certain period of time. The guides suggest we're going to be on a roller coaster all the way through the end of 2024, through the election. It doesn't mean something bad is going to happen in the election. It means that, well, we got to deal with all the MAGAs after the election. We've got to deal with whatever might be happening after the election, right? It's just unsettled energy. So you've been warned. Forewarned is forearmed. Please take really good care of yourself. Drink a lot of water. Make sure that your body has what it needs. Ask your body, what do I need today? You might get an idea, I need vitamin C. Where did that come from? It came from your spirit guides. You might get an idea, rest. You might get an idea, you might see a pineapple. Well, if you see a pineapple, Google, what are the nutrients of pineapple? Because that's what you need. Okay, ask your body every day, what do I need today? And then honor your body by giving it to your body. Truly, I am not a person who takes naps, but if I ask in my spirit guides, my body says I need rest, I just go lay down. I don't say after I finish this email. I don't say after I do this video. I literally go lay down. Swear to God, because the pressure is too much. What we're going through is too much. You cannot put off taking care of yourself. It's not going to work. The bill is going to come due. So pay it before it's due. Okay? Hope this video was helpful for you. I really thought it was going to be like a 20-minute video. Of course, it's 48 minutes. That's how we roll here. If you've watched to the end, thank you so very much. Everything's going to be okay. Keep an eye out for all the things the spirit guides said were going to be happening. It'll give you hope that, yes, the Democrats have got the message. They got the memo. They're taking action. We're going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. I literally say that to myself every day because you need to say it to yourself. You need to remind yourself it's a shite show right now, but everything is going to be okay. Okay? Take really, really good care. We'll talk soon. For entertainment purposes only.